Hey guys, how's it going? It's Alpha here, and today we're going through Legelonte Descended, which is a dungeon that was just released in North America. And the two difficulties on this are actually Master and Legend. It's not Legend and Mythical. So, being as this was the case, I thought it'd be a little more interesting if I took two teams that I don't really use, that aren't quite as developed as some of my more heavily invested teams, just to kind of have some fun, play with some different mechanics, and kind of see how things go. So my first team here is Awoken Freyr. Um, he will boost up attack and recovery for fire cards with an additional boost and attack when using an active skill. When you pair him with Greatest Enemy Rao, it's a great compliment because Rao will boost up attack and hit points in attackers and devils, and his attack increases with a match of 4 or up to 6 red orbs. So, obviously, the name of the game here is use active skills and make rows. You get a nice mix of both hit points and recovery, so it's kind of like a newer edition of a Red Sonya Beelzebub combo where you're getting an attack boost from each leader and an HP boost from one and a recovery boost from the other. So this is just the master difficulty of this dungeon. It's not really too challenging. Um, most players that are I don't know. I mean, at least have mid-ranked cards would be able to beat at least the master difficulty here. You go through, you face Bastet, Siren, Lakshmi, a Pico Dragon, along with Mandrake. It's two on the fourth stage, and then of course you have Legelonte. Um, and going through here, you can see I'm. Let's see, we're on Lakshmi here, and we go ahead and make a full row. I think I might have used an active there, I'm not sure, but it definitely takes her out. And then we move on. This is actually when you tell that I ran the dungeon blind because the Pico Dragon has a 5-turn fire absorb. So I obviously didn't really know that. So you're probably going to want to not take in I mean, you could definitely stall out. It's not that big of a deal depending on what team you bring in, what kind of recovery you have, what kind of actives you have that might make hard orbs for you. But I just kind of fast forwarded here because we're just stalling out a bit here. Nothing really much to see here. It's kind of an interesting artwork on this Pico Dragon. It's kind of a blob with some giant teeth, and I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know. Maybe just because I have to look at him for a while. But okay, so going on to the final stage here. This is Legelonte. I keep wanting to say like Legolas, from Lord of the Rings. I can never say this guy's name right. I always have to keep looking at it. Legelonte. Anyways, you can see popping all these actives. He is not going to. He's not going to do okay here. We've used actives, so we get a bit of a boost from Freyr, and we're making rows, so we're getting Rouse boost, and then we're using Freyr's active skill, which doubles attack for fire and water. So of course we one-shot him there. So that was the master difficulty of Legelonte Descended. He's a new dragon. I think I read somewhere that he was fan created, which is kind of neat. I guess they did a contest, and people decided that was a cool design, so I guess it's a pretty neat card to have. And I decided, since it was kind of an easy run, of course, we're dealing with Master and Legend, that I would go ahead and just run back to back, just go hop right into the Legend difficulty, and again with a team I don't really use, and that would be my Uria team. I have some pretty good cards to make a Uria team. There it is right there, and they are, my Uria is max leveled and almost max skilled. Apocalypse, max level, skill level 1. Daoshua, max level, skill level max as well. Saria is not max anything. Wukong, max level, skill level 1. And I'm dealing with a hyper max Uria. So if you're unfamiliar with her gameplay mechanic, you're going to be dealing with, again, rows and then multiple combos of hearts to get your full attack active here. So I set this up a lot more like a standard Descend, where we go through each stage and kind of explain what's going on. So the first thing that you have to do here with Bastet, she has 2 million hit points, and you have to hit at least 4 combos or she will absorb it. She has a few different mechanics, but they're pretty simple. It was an 8,000 attack to make some jammers, and she has an 11,000 attack when she's under a threshold. Here we have Siren, who does a 99% gravity to start off, so you're going to want to make sure that you're healing up. And you can see in my case, I want to make sure I get a combo of hearts as well as a row of light, and that'll give me a 20.25 attack. And then if I had a Skyfall there, which is kind of what Uria's active does, it increases heart Skyfall. So when you get that extra combo, it boosts all the way up to a 56.25 attack, which is pretty insane. So moving on to Lakshmi, she has 2 million hit points here, and the first thing she'll do is heal you to 100%. So if you got through Siren and hadn't healed all the way, Lakshmi will get you all the way back up. Under 70%, she will bind your leaders, and under 20%, she has a pretty large attack of 15,000. She has a few other things in there, like under 50%, she'll attack for 6,000 and heal herself for 30%, and just at any given time, I guess she will, she'll boost the water Skyfall, which she just did, and she'll also do a 9,000 attack and change your hearts into water. So you can see here, I think I just used Dao Shuao's active, and you can tell I don't use the team because I did not have a lot of the orbs that she makes. I think she turns red into light and then dark into hearts. I did not have a lot of red orbs, so I didn't end up with a very large attack there. And you can see she did the leader swap, which put Saria in as a leader who has a nice HP and attack boost, which is boosted up higher when you're using an active skill, much like Awoken Frere, who I was just using, only he boosts recovery and attack, not HP and attack. But you can see I'm going through here, just kind of trying to make some matches, and unfortunately with a 6.25 attack, it's not going to do too much damage there. So I've got to kind of wait it out a bit here. I'm going through all of her mechanics here, all of her different attacks. Nothing is too fatal here, but you can see this team is a little bit of like a glass cannon. I mean, right now it has 38,000 hit points, but after this turn, when Yuria goes back in and that HP boost is gone, you'll see I only have 19,000 total hit points. It's kind of light in today's meta where you really want to be dealing with a little more around the 20,000 to 30,000 hit points per team. But you can see I go through, I use some actives here, and we get a pretty nice board. We're going to be able to get the full multiplier here, make some rows, do some heart combos, and there we go. We're able to get a 5 combo Skyfall into a 10 combo, and you know that that's going to be enough to take Lakshmi out and move on to the 4th stage. So the 4th stage here is the one where we're facing 2 opponents, the Pico Dragon and the Mandrake something or other. Kind of interesting, cartoony little guys, and they both have about 1 million hit points. You'll deal with a preemptive absorb and a preemptive skill cooldown. So you're going to kind of be on your own a bit for your actives. You don't really get to use your actives for a bit. And let's see what else. They have some other things. You know, I can't list them all on the screen here. You can see with my awesome new backgrounds, I kind of have a lot of the real estate taken up. But anyways, they do a few different attacks, you know, make some jammers. But the attacks are between 4,000 and 8,000. If they go below 30%, one will do an 8,000 attack. That's the Pico Dragon. And the other will do an 11,000 attack. And they'll change some orbs on you. So it's best to just do what I do right there and just kill him. Now here, we're on to Legelonte. Whoops, we gotta change this thing over. Come on, 1, 2, 3, change. There we go. Okay, now we're on to Legelonte Descended, and you can see he's got 5 million hit points. So he's a little bit higher, but again, you know, we're dealing with legendary difficulty, and my mistake there was seeing all those heart and light orbs and thinking that I would be able to go ahead and make my multiple combos and rows. And I kind of, this team doesn't have the time extends that some of the other teams I'm using right now have. So I've kind of gotten a bit worse with my orb movement speed, which isn't too impressive to begin with. Anyways, you can see here we're going to make our multiple combos here. We have our 56x attack. We Skyfall into an 8 combo at 56x, and even with 2 of the subs bound, that is enough to one-shot Legelonte. And you can see just how powerful Uria is as a leader. So that's pretty much Legelonte there. We did both Master and Legend today, so thank you very much for watching. I'll have a lot more content coming out. We're actually going to do a team tour soon, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Thanks again.